Hello, hello, friends. Thanks for tuning in to Candidly Speaking with Chelle and Kelle. I'm Kelle.
I'm Chelle. We are tickled to death that you all are here. Thanks so much for joining us. And we have, as always, but we have an incredible show with an incredible guest tonight. So,
Totally. So our sponsors tonight are Blue Sky Video Productions, Bruce Himmelblau. He is our live stream producer. He's a YouTube strategist. He has a new, or that's not new, but he has a join the Go Live in 5 Days Facebook group, and you can learn a lot from his expertise. And we have moi, Cards That Wow. If you want to wow your clients, especially during this gift-giving season that's coming up, you make sure to contact me at cardsthatwow.com.
Absolutely. And you will absolutely be wowed by her cards, by her. Kellen's a cool girl. We like her.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So if you're watching, let us know. Please just put where you're from in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay and where you're from. Most people watch the replay.
Mm-hmm.
Last show, we had like 8,000 people watch the replay. So, yeah. So hopefully it's a night like that. So anyway, so Kellen, what's up?
Well, my daughter hates me because I've accidentally become plant-based. Not really, but I found this awesome recipe lady that I'm trying to get on our show. It's Fat Can Cook, and she does a lot of healthy. Some of them are vegan, some are paleo, some are. But I still like my hamburger and a steak every now and then.
I saw you just chow down on a big old steak once. I'm just going to say
that steak was so good. I'm sorry if I was
yeah, it wasn't quite that bad, almost.
But anyway, so she's here stomping through the house today. Boom, boom, boom. Everything's gluten free. There's no meat in this house.
Poor thing.
But
she'll be okay.
So speaking of diet, I think my face is looking, I don't know, better.
You look beautiful.
Because I've added collagen to my morning routine. Now, do you have that?
Is this something that this is in a cream form or something, right?
No, it's something I put in my
supplement.
I put in my coffee. It's a powder.
Okay, I do not do anything like that. I thought about, people are buying the powdered beets because beets are supposed to be just wonderful. I'm going to tell you, I like beets, so I could just eat beets.
I like beets too.
That's actually what I had. You know what I had for lunch 2 days ago?
Oh.
I had a half of a Hostess cupcake and a beet. So half of that was good for me. The other half, not so much.
Jamie uses collagen.
Yeah.
And she drinks bone broth. That's okay. I heard about that too. But
anyway, we're doing that.
I think my face is looking a little less, wrinkly. And I also think that it helps with joints, and my knees don't hurt anymore. So I just want, if something good happens, I want to share with the world.
Well, I have had a birthday since our last show.
I know.
It was like stuff just started happening again because I had this birthday. So that's going to have to stop. The birthdays don't need to stop. Okay.
I'm not
sure a little more slowly. But
you're right. Every time I have a birthday, something
else happens. Or, I'm like, what's that? That wasn't there. Or that didn't used to work that way. So I don't know.
But speaking of collagen, our next guest is so smooth.
Oh, I was going, how are you going to make this segue? He is. We love him. He is an author. He is an event guru.
Yes.
He is just always inspirational to me. In fact, I told him this week just how much he inspires me and how I actually view him as a mentor. So really cool guy. We call him B Money. The rest of the world calls him Brian Monahan.
Woo! Bruce, that's your cue.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Money.
Hi, Chelle. Hi, Kelle. Great to be here tonight.
How are you? We're so glad you're here.
I know. I was thinking about the diets and my complexion, and I started the cheeseburger diet.
Okay.
45 years ago, and it's been doing well for me.
Oh my God, that's so
Well,
funny.
it looks good on you, Brian.
Oh, thank you.
Randy Chafee. Randy's in the house.
Randy Candy and
over so I
Jamie
can
Green
see.
and Cynthia's here.
Cynthia, hey.
And Phil,
You
baby.
got a bunch of people, Jamie. Yeah, Zach.
Zach. Hey, Zach.
No.
Fun.
The man, the myth, huh?
That's
so
right.
is Zach.
That was
Zach.
you.
Well, Brian, I was telling, I don't think you were on yet before the show. Usually, we have notes and whatever, so we know kind of what we want to ask our guest about. But I said, I didn't make the first note. I think that, if we can't have a nice conversation with Brian like we have on so many occasions, then we're in bad shape. So
and we're losers.
Yes, we are losers, and we're not losers.
No. I mean, we've had like 4-hour conversations on Saturdays back when we all would go for our long walks.
Right.
And
I think once we walked like 10 miles together or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remote though.
Remotely.
Over what was it? Facebook Messenger. That's
so absolutely.
And Bruce was even on. I had to tell Bruce I had to go though. So I got home and I'm like, I'm done, Bruce. Bye.
Sorry, Bruce, you didn't make that cut, buddy.
I was always on the shortest amount of time because I was recovering from my knee surgery. So I was like, 15 minutes. Bye, guys.
I'm just old, so
you're on West Coast time too. We'd have to wake you up. So
I was like, it was like 6 a.m, I think.
Yeah, we start at 10 East Coast time. So
7. Of course, I'll be East Coast in a month.
I know. We're looking forward to it.
Zone. Exciting, yes.
Fair warning. Kellen is moving east, everybody. So
look out.
You're moving east. I mean, I would just say you're moving south. I mean,
I'm moving south.
That's the south, girl.
Yeah,
when I looked on the map and saw where it was, I'm like, I'm more south.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I learned all
y'all. Moving to the East Coast, I'm like, you're moving to the south.
Yeah.
But we're going to be glad to have you.
Yeah, I think it's good that you've got a chance to connect with Michelle and I. We are the closest to the y'all terminology, and we've been able to train you appropriately on it. So.
I am textbook all y'all and y'all.
That's right.
So
right now we're
ready.
Y'all.
We're yes, yes. We're gonna continue our lessons on that. But yeah.
Ooh.
Look at Randy. Be money.
Be money. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I don't even know.
That's a logo there. I'm gonna have to.
It is.
I can make you a card.
That would be good. I love that.
That'd be a cool card. Anyway, there's a couple things that I've been wanting to talk to you about. The most important is unpacking.
Yes.
And you went on this incredible retreat with Melanie Spring, and you came back a new Be Money.
You did.
I did. I thought I was going to a public speaking retreat, something to work on my message for speeches. And I have a nickname for Melanie Spring. I call her the wrecking ball. And, she brought me to my knees, had me in tears, and my life's been different ever since. And it was always there. I lost touch with a few things. So it was a very interesting few days out there in Denver for that particular weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, so share what you'd like to, as much as you'd like to, what you feel comfortable sharing.
Sure. I'm sure you guys, we've all taken a lot of courses. That's what we have in common. We met each other through the Jeffrey Gitomer sales new normal course, and I think we all are signed up for personal development junkies, so to speak. And I have been most of my life. So when I met Melanie and she was on a public speaking conference, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sign up for this. I want to become a better public speaker. And then the pandemic showed up, and what was supposed to be a 90-day program ended up being like 420 days. So, but we get out to this conference, and I have this speech in hand. It wasn't fully formed. We're going to work on it. And we actually, it's a really cool retreat. At the end, we go to this venue where she's rented out. It's got a stage. They record your videos. You're going to have some promo materials to walk away. She invites an external audience to share your talk. And so, hey, I'm working on this talk, and it's the final day of the weekend, and we're going to go give our speeches at 1:00 on a Saturday afternoon. And we have our rehearsals in the morning. And Melanie told us, by the way, tomorrow morning's magic. I'm just going to let you guys know it's magic. I'm like, okay, whatever. I have to give a speech tomorrow, and you've had me rewrite it 7 times over the last 5 days. So I clearly don't know it right now. So I go up and I give my best speech of the weekend, and I come off stage and she sits me down and she's like, we need to talk, Brian. I'm like, okay. She's like, well, first off, I had I brought these characters to the stage to talk about it. And she's like, Brian, so you get your big day on the stage and you're going to bring people with you? Why would you bring people to the stage with you? And I was like, that's a good point, And so it was kind of like, hey, she kind of caught me off guard in the sense of I was using these characters, they were metaphors. I was talking about them, but they were sharing my time in the spotlight. And I was like, I do that a lot. Not that that's a bad thing, but she was just asking me to be more in touch with who I was and to be more confident about who I am, and that I could stand on that stage by myself. And then she went another step, and it's been life-changing. And she said, what if your daughter was in the audience? How would that change how you would give that talk? And it brought me to tears. I have a lovely 12-year-old daughter who's going on 22, and Kellen, understands that. So does Michelle. You both have daughters, and you understand how that goes. But I thought about it, and of course I was bawling. And then she also said, and you've told me some great stories about your dad over the years. I didn't hear you share anything about your dad. So what if when you come back at 1:00, you shared something as if you were speaking to your daughter and share a little bit about your dad? I just lost it. I mean, I really lost it. I'm like, okay, you've hit the jugular of topics, your parents, your kids. And I thought about what my daughter would want to hear from me. And I could only come up with one thing, is that she'd want to hear the truth. She'd want to have me speak my authentic self and show up as I truly am, because that's all she knows. And as I was going up on stage, I was trying to be clever, have really great content. And what people really wanted was for me to show up as myself and be genuine. And that's what my daughter would want. And so it really changed my view on speaking, as how would I show up to talk to an audience in the future, because I'm talking to somebody. Everybody's somebody's kid. Everybody needs that authentic message. So it was really a game changer, and it just really got me connected with my heart in a way that I haven't been connected in a long time. I've always been sensitive, but I took a little detour in the Marines and thought I was a hard ass, but I'm really not. I'm a pretty sweet guy. So what do you think? What do you think?
I still think you're badass.
I am.
I just think it's amazing. And I've noticed the change in you. The unpacking email that you send out I read it every Saturday. And
I read it several times.
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
I'm too chicken to reply. I don't know why. I'm not in that place yet. But, because we're all going through different stages of unpacking in our lives right now. And I love the way you called it that. And I refer to that term. I use that term a lot now. And no, but I love, the email it's touching, it's humorous. It's got a little bit of everything. It's the essence of Be Money. It's like, it's you. And I love it.
It is you. And I know that this has affected your speaking, but it has affected your writing as well. Mm-hmm. When I read your unpacking email, I feel like it is Brian speaking to Michelle. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like. And I know that everyone feels the same. Mm-hmm. Everyone, it's like we're the only you just sent it to me. You're communicating with. Yeah, exactly. This was my personal email that I got from Brian. And I don't recall necessarily feeling that way from things. I mean, obviously I've read your book. I mean, you've written a book, you're a published author. And so I think that probably has crept or is creeping into every aspect of your life, personally and professionally. I mean, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. For those they're mentioning, when I came back from the conference, I just felt like I had so much to unpack. I had put it away for a long time. And so I just decided I was going to do this email, and I just sent out a note, or I posted a video, and I said, hey, if you want to jump on board, it's going to be personal. It's going to be kind of what's on my mind for the week. And if either you're interested or you're not. So it ended up being a really interesting group of people that are in my life. There's probably about 80 people that signed up from my various posts, and I call it my super fans, or what, it's everybody. And so it's actually been fun, because I'm like, wow, I'm writing to 80 people that just love me and support me no matter what. And so it made me realize, like, I don't necessarily need a list of thousands of people to write to. Like, let's write to people who want to hear what I have to share, and keep it real, and keep it. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be large. It just gives me an opportunity to share. And one thing, Michelle, you mentioned, like, I'm talking to you directly, is I generally sit down and do it in one writing, and I do very little editing to it. And I also try, one of the things I learned at Melanie's conference was to quit trying to be so clever all the time, and trying to come up with something that was profound, and something that, we all have profound experience. We all have clever content, but it's like, I just want to get to the raw essence and show up as who I am, instead of trying to put a big twist on it.
But now I will add that you are incredibly clever.
I am.
You are. That's just part of you.
Well, thank you, Michelle.
Well, you are. I sat across the table from you one night in Cincinnati and was rolling on the floor with things that just smart things. I think you're hilarious. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
To be funny, you have to be intelligent. You do. And cleverness, and I absolutely understand what you're saying, but that is absolutely a part of Brian. I mean, it just kind of rolls out of you. So.
Yeah, I actually, that is definitely something I got from my dad. My dad is hilarious. Everybody loves him. I often say I'm a dad joke. I don't do, but he is a dad joke for sure. If he's listening, I'm going to go ahead and toss it out. But yeah, I definitely picked up his sense of humor, and I like to be silly. One thing I'm working on though, so I am okay with self-deprecating humor, but it's a fine line. When you have some self-esteem issues, imposter syndrome, maybe you don't believe in yourself in areas, you got to watch it, because sometimes I'm playing a little game where I'm being self-deprecating, but maybe I really believe that about myself. And so I'm trying to watch how I self-deprecate, so that I don't sneak in things that are keeping me from showing up at a super high level, and not necessarily like being like I said, trying to be clever or trying to be something not me, but that I show up authentically as myself. And that's what I've been working on in my life. And I think the reason why it's so important to me is I have this belief that at the end of the day, we all want to be seen. Like, we have a unique soul. We're born into the world in a certain way, and all we want is to be able to have some ability to share that with the world and be accepted for it. And we're so afraid of being rejected that we spend our life trying to be who we're not. And then we never know if anybody accepts us, because we've never taken the risk to show up as who we are. And so I always want to help people find that courage to show up that way. That's been my lifelong goal. And I assume that comes from inside of me, because I want to show up as myself and find ways to do that. And actually, that's been this past year, if I get frank, the pandemic, and I'm in an industry that was affected greatly. And so when we were down, and a lot of the people in my life were just scared, and I didn't feel comfortable showing up as myself because I was fearful for my job and things like that. And so I've done a lot of soul searching over this pandemic. Is how do you when you're in fear, how do I provide for my family when I'm in an industry that really was challenged? And if I show up authentically as myself and they don't like it, I may be out of a job. And so it's been a real journey for me on how to deal with that. And so I'm working towards being able to show up as myself again, because I kind of I quelched that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, because I feel like I'm just asking all of these questions. So
No.
Kellen, just shut me up when you need me to shut up.
Oh, yes,
But
ma'am.
when did that start, Brian? Have you do you feel like, I mean, go back to high school. Were you Brian in high school, or not? When did that start? The Marines. When was that?
I went in the Marines right before I turned 21. So when was Brian not who he was?
There you go. Much more eloquently than I put it. Thank you for understanding.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go all the way back to, it probably started as early as 3 or 4 years old.
Really?
Yeah, that was one of the things I actually got in touch with over the weekend. Is I had like a little vision. My dad was a pipe fitter, and when I was like 2 or 3 years old, he fell 32 feet in a big powerhouse pipe and broke both his legs and feet, and his back, and he was a body cast when I was very young. And my mom, my sister was just born as well, and I just had this moment while I was at the retreat, and I was thinking about my mom and my dad, and I'm like, what was going through their minds, and how could they even be possibly present for me in a way that was appropriate for a kid at 3 or 4 years old?
Mm-hmm.
I know that it took them a lot of years to kind of get on plane for their lives, and obviously being a Gen Xer, my parents, I think my mom was 19 when she had me, and my dad was probably 21. So they were pretty young, raising kids. And so I think I really was not nurtured, and I didn't have a whole lot of confidence. And I went, crazy enough, I went to the seminar when I was 16. It was called Life Success Seminars. My parents had somehow ended up at it as well, and I saw a bunch of changes in them, and I went myself, and something woke up in me, and I'm like, I didn't even know I had any value as a person. And it was until I was 15, 16 years old, till I had come to the conclusion that I had any value as a person. My vision for life, like my goal in life was to be a cabinet maker at that point, and nothing wrong with being a cabinet maker, but like, I thought my only option was, something that was probably an unskilled trade. No, my parents weren't going to be able to afford to send me to college. I wasn't going to, I was just going to have to take what I could get. And at 16, I kind of woke up and I said, there might be another option. And then I went in the Marines, and, they taught me there was another option. So I don't know if that helps, but, I think until I was, in my late teenage years, did I really start to recognize that I wanted to have something more for my life, and that I had some control in that. Prior to that, I thought, I was the cards that I was dealt from whatever my family situation was the best I would be able to do. And so.
When did you and Megan get married?
It was 2003. So we've been married for about 18 years this August. And we were both, I guess that puts us early 30s. And so, we're a little bit late to start. We had Ella.
That's the best time.
Yeah, it is. But we had Ella at we were both 37 when we had Ella, and we were very blessed. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to have children of our own. It was a period, and to get to that, and so that was stressful. But there is a reason why women are most fertile in their 20s, or even because I don't think 37-year-old people are meant to have kids for the first time. I think there's a reason why, physically we all should have kids in our 20s, because we're too dumb to know the difference of what's going on in our life.
Oh,
and
yeah.
At 30,
you're older.
I was 39.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had Sophia at 35.
I'm paying for it.
But now that was my second, but yeah.
Well, so you guys you're
You
not,
get it.
you're like,
it's not 25. Yeah.
well, I'm like, I look at, I'm like, the people I know that have kids, like when they're in their 19 through 25, they party through the whole kid's childhood, and, they don't know that it's bad. But when you're at 36, 37, and you've like developed your life, and now all of a sudden you got to shut it down, and it's a pretty drastic change. So
it is. But no, I agree with you. The 20s is probably.
I would have definitely done it earlier if I'd known.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't. That's just the way life worked out, and obviously it turned out perfect. But I'm moderately old. I mean, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm glad
exhausting.
I love the fact that I was able to toss a pizza on the counter. We ate. She's out running around the neighborhood right now. Mom just left for a girls' trip to Santa Fe tonight, and I'm here chatting up on. She can take care of herself now. She's working the suburbs right now. Running around the neighborhood.
Okay, sure.
She's probably got a lemonade stand going right now. Who knows?
Well, she's a doll.
She is.
I love the vacation pictures that you sent. The one that's your banner or whatever. I love it.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
She's a blast. She brings complete joy and into my life. Eric says I need to get a manicure.
Did he look at your hands?
My hands look fine. I ain't that bad.
Actually, mine are worse than yours.
He says I need to get a manicure. Eric needs. Oh,
Brian,
we both need to get one together. And we should get petties as well.
Well, yeah. Don't do anything halfway. Come on.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely.
Wow. So, I had a question. And now I forgot what it was.
Well, okay. I'm sure Michelle has it.
I have one while you're thinking. Let me ask you this. Is there anything that is too much? Is there anything that would be too much, Brian, to share? Anything that is off limits? And I'm not saying that if there is, share with us what it is. That's not what I'm saying. But is there anything? Do you have are there boundaries?
At one point in my life, I would have said there's no boundaries, but over the last few years, I'm trying to find a balance of what I share, because I am pretty comfortable actually showing up as myself, and not everybody gets it all the time. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that just yet. That's some of what I've been finding, and it's like, everybody, all the personal development things that you might go to, show up authentically as yourself. And that's the path. And I'm like, ooh, I kind of went all in with that. And that got a little crazy for a little bit. And I'll be honest, it wasn't anything that was really like risque or odd. It was just, sometimes people can't take authentic. They just can't.
Sometimes you spend so much time being like the employee that your boss wants you to be, the husband that your wife wants you to be, the father that your daughter wants you to be. And did you have trouble distinguishing which one was Brian? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, obviously, I'm VP of sales for an AV and production company right now, and it's a big role, and it's easy to get caught up and think that's the only thing that you are. And so, and how are you showing up as the best VP of sales? It can be a trap. And so, I'm trying to have a balance of that. It's even worse when you don't, it's not even that I don't show up as my authentic self at home, but I don't leave any room for that authentic self to show up. That's the other thing. That's what I'm learning, is that I spent so much focus and energy on my job that there wasn't a whole lot of room for me to let my daughter have an opportunity to see the real me, let my wife see the real me. I've heard some other people around here say that, I think it sucks that your job gets the best of you. I've heard numerous people say that about their spouses, and so that's been one of the takeaways from my time in Denver, was that I don't want everything that's outside of me getting the best of me. I want my wife, I want my daughter to have that.
You don't want them to get the leftovers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and definitely they were. I have no.
I think we all do that to some point.
Yeah, I'm absolutely guilty of that. Absolutely guilty of that.
I mean, even tonight, it was for my daughter's benefit, but she's in some summer camp. She's taking some, they were taking some fiber art courses, and she, made some pillows with art, and I was picking her up. And of course, she knows mom just went out of town. So she's like, Dad, can we have pizza and pick up ice cream on the way home? I'm like, sure. Yeah.
Of course we can.
Yeah, we're going to, yes. And here is my stuff that I want to show you. And I'm trying to order the pizza so it's there when we get home, and so that I can be ready to be on the show. And I realized, I said, after I got moving, I said, hey, honey, I'm sorry. I realized I didn't really pay attention as well as I should while you were sharing your wonderful art. When we get home, I'd like to have you reshare it with me when I can be focused. And so I don't know that I would have noticed that a year ago. And she was fine with that, and I think that's okay. We're not always going to be perfect, but in the rush of getting home, and I was like, missed a moment to totally be present to her, and so it's luckily I caught it right away and was able to take care of it in the same night instead of when she's 45 in therapy.
That's what I was saying. Imagine the lesson you just taught her, that you are human, but you caught it right away, and you probably did save at least $700 in therapy.
Oh, I know, definitely.
And that's
thanks, Eric. You are pure gold as well, Mr. Bam.
He is pure something. He sure is. But when you miss moments like that, because Ella's what, 12?
She's 12, yes.
Yeah, when you miss moments like that, they start to come less and less frequently. Where they want to show you, when they're little, when you're at the pool and they're 3, it's mommy, watch. And I got to tell you, there are some days, and actually today is one of them, when I would give anything for a day like that. So
yeah. Now they stomp around the kitchen saying that you're ruining their life because there's no meat.
Well,
Emily's going to be fine.
I mean, we'll have to talk after this, Kellen, because I'm not sure I support this. So
no, I eat meat. I do have meat. It's a heart diet for my mom, and we're all losing weight.
Okay.
Because I was wondering how you accidentally. Now I understand.
No, because I don't know how to cook. So I found this lady on TikTok, and she's got these great recipes that are really healthy, and they taste good.
Cynthia's husband prescribes the same diet that Brian does. You just add a slice of cheese, it sounds like, Brian.
Yeah, definitely.
And Alan's on that diet too, I think.
Yeah. Oh, man. How many cheeseburgers does he eat a month?
I know. I mean, he definitely, Alan is like tempting me with all his.
Yeah.
We got invited to a festival over the weekend. It was a local food festival, and it was just literally a hamburger festival, and I was in heaven. I had 2 drink tickets, but I had like 7 hamburgers.
That's great.
Forget the drinks. This is a hamburger fest.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I'm so happy that festivals are opening up again because
Mhm.
I noticed I get in the newspaper from my little tiny hometown now, and they're talking about festivals, and I'm like, oh, festivals! I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. You're going to love them. They're going to be wonderful. They're going to be wonderful.
Yeah, you don't realize how much you've lost touch with something so normal as a festival. We were all there, and my wife's like, oh my God, this is what we need to do. We need to get out and do these things. I'm like, yes, we do.
Do you find that you feel awkward in public now?
Oh, definitely.
Just me?
Yeah. No, it's not just you.
I'm like, I was an isolator to begin with, and COVID was like perfect for me. I didn't have to leave for anything. And then food delivery started, and then so now I'm like I went to the grocery store today. I just felt so out of place.
But Kellen, I think of you as one of the most social people that I know. I understand what you're saying, but
I'm here.
Yeah.
But
do you ever feel like when you're out in public, like when you see people close to each other, it reminds me of how it feels like when you watch Mad Men and you see people smoking in the office and having cocktails. It's like, oh, that's so old. That's so outdated. People standing close to each other talking.
Yeah. There's a picture of it's on my Facebook page. Anybody wants to see? It's a picture of me and all of my friends in high school, and it was made at a bonfire. And we're all piled in, it was probably, a space the size of I don't know what, and there's like 10 kids in this picture. And Sophia saw that, and this was probably about a year ago, and she said, Mom, why are you all piled up like that? Why is everybody all crammed in? Because that was strange to her. It probably wasn't quite a year ago, but it kind of, it just kind of stung a little bit to think that was strange to her. I don't know.
No,
it was always like, how many people can you fit in this tiny, tiny space?
Yeah.
And every picture of me, I'm like this. I close my eyes on every picture.
I mean, there is some advantages to all of this. They're giving you a little more space when you go to events, and it's not horrible having a little more space.
It was nice when the airplanes had every other seat.
Oh, I know, that was.
But
perfect.
Now they're packing us in like sardines again. So that's
Now it's they're making up for a year's worth of travel.
Yeah.
Well,
I have another question. You're talking about the people who you brought on stage with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you that I probably have a good 4 or 5 people with me in my purse at all times. I do. So
is this like a 48 hours episode starting right now?
It is not. But
that's why her purse is always in the freezer.
Yeah, exactly. But I do feel myself always go, and I think we all have different, your work persona, my kids will say, Mom, we don't need work, Mom. We are not your staff. We do not work for you. So turn off work, work mode, work mom. And I get that, but I do still feel like I have always struggled. And if you're watching and we have a really close relationship, then you know this. Communication is not my forte. Now I will talk to a brick wall. Talk about nothing. Okay. But it's difficult. And I feel like if I get in a situation like that, sometimes it's real easy for me to kind of shift into, and I don't know that that's necessarily what you were referring to, Brian. Maybe it was, I don't know, but those people are not authentic Michelle. I'll tell you that they're not.
No, I hear what you're saying. I was coming from a little bit different space. I actually wouldn't mind sharing if you don't, the 2 people I brought to stage, because it was kind of cool. I had this vision that the Grim Reaper was chasing me. And I actually when I was a kid, used to have dreams that the Grim Reaper was chasing me. And so it was like, so I felt like when I was going up on stage, like, hey, this is going to kill me or something, so I was like, and I actually came to this conclusion that it actually wasn't the Grim Reaper that was on stage with me. It was the Dream Reaper, and it was a different person. And you don't need the Grim Reaper is not the scary one. The Dream Reaper is a scary one because that guy's a badass. He's going to battle with you because he's behind you. And so the Grim Reaper is really kind of like no big deal. We all are going to have our opportunity to meet with him. So I kind of had this, I did this motif where I talked about, well, the Grim Reaper is not really anything to worry about, but this Dream Reaper guy is there to help you out, is actually to help you get to your dreams. And he was keeping me honest, like, hey, you aren't getting off the stage until you do what you need to do, because this is your dream and you need to get it done. And I actually feel like I had a spiritual experience while I was walking around Denver. There was this guy that kind of came out of the blue, and when I thought he might be a homeless guy. He was wearing a leather jacket. He was really like just kind of like very, I don't know, just mystic looking. And I was like, when I walked by him, he didn't flinch. He didn't like say hi to me. He didn't acknowledge me. And as I walked by, I was like, this is the dream. That guy's the Dream Reaper. I don't, and I had this little message come and it was, well, if you look back to confirm whether he's there or not, you don't actually believe in this person being at your back. And so I just said, I'm going to walk forward and I'll never know for sure whether or not this guy was my Dream Reaper. And so the fact that I never looked back, I know he's on my team and he's working for me. He's got my back. So it's kind of like a spiritual, that was part of my spiritual experience at that weekend. And so I often envision him having my back as I move forward right now. Mm-hmm. So believe what you want about those things, but I felt like I had a spiritual kind of moment.
Nope, I totally get it. Totally get it.
So is that woo-woo enough for you, Michelle? Is that out on a limb enough tonight?
That was perfect. That was perfect. He knows how I am about woo-woo stuff.
The beat.
I didn't even know what woo stuff was until we did this show.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle, you're just woo, okay? And we're woo.
Woo, that's right. Okay, so let's talk about the world's longest sales cycle.
It's 22 years.
Yeah. 22
years. It's Kellen and I talked about a particular sale that our team just secured. It took us 22 years as an organization, and in 3 other jobs, to be quite honest. So Prestige has been trying to win this regional convention center contract since 1999, and it goes out for bid about every 5 years, and we've put our best effort in every 5 years to win that piece of business. And about 5 years ago, we decided that we were going to take a whole different approach for it. And we started to build relationships in the community around this particular convention center. And we decided our game plan is we were going to surround the convention center by picking up all the hotel accounts and venues that were around the convention center, so that the convention center would have no choice but to choose us. So my venue and partnership manager about 5 years ago, I said, well, here's what we're going to do. And I'm not going to take credit for his hard work. He went out and he made it happen. He won those contracts at those. And so when we were able to submit our bid, we had all these letters from all the regional hotels saying we were the company of choice. And so we just secured that contract, officially signed off on it last week, and we started on August 1st. So
that's awesome.
We're just super excited. I often say this in the business to people is if I'm in it for the long haul. So if you're not ready to do business with me today, I'll be here in 10 years when you are. And so that's my approach to business. That's been the company I worked for approach to business is, we'll be here when you're ready for us. And we do good work in the meantime. We build relationships. provide value, serve our industry in a really high way, so that when people are ready for a great company, we're the choice. And so,
well, and look, the result of all of these, you said it, these relationships that you had made with all of these hotels, and all paid off.
Yeah, so I know a lot of the people who join in here we're all kind of connected. We're sales professionals and have sales backgrounds, and I think one thing I often try to remind people in the sales world is you don't always win business by going through the front door. Sometimes you have to utilize different ways to get things done, and it doesn't need to be done in an unsavory fashion. You build quality relationships, and basically make yourself the company of choice or the organization of choice. It's been fun. It's been very rewarding. It definitely, after the year we've had in the event business, it was definitely a huge boost for me.
Sure.
And for our team. We started on August 1st, but we've already hit the ground running, and we've been working on it for 22 years, so we knew what we wanted. So
I just feel like that's the textbook sales dream story, because you worked your butt off. It took forever, but you had a plan. You were very strategic, and you won. I love that. When you told me that story, I was like, that is so cool, because we don't hear much of those.
No, I mean, it was definitely pretty scary when we dropped the bid this last time.
Yeah.
And our team kind of like, we've played our cards at this point. So
yeah. 20 years is a long time. That's a great story. You probably would like to shave a couple of years off that, but yeah.
Yeah,
we do that bid, man. Ugh.
Yeah, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. After 22 years, we finally won this. What took you so long?
Oh, well,
they'll be glad they did. That's for sure.
Yes, congratulations.
Well,
congratulations.
Yeah, so we have fun with it, and that's our approach. We provide value first. That's Jeffrey Gitomer, and ready when the opportunity is right. So. Yeah. I know you ladies both have that approach as well in your businesses.
We do. We do. And most of the time it works.
Most of the time.
So some of you watching may not know that Brian has excellent musical taste.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Lots of playlists I have saved that Be Money made. So, Brian, what is your favorite song of all time?
Well, the one that just came to mind right now is, and so I'm just going to go with that one, is I Got to Get a Message to You by the Bee Gees. So.
Okay. I did not see that one coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could see the Bee Gees coming though, right?
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, without a doubt, as the question was forming, I knew where you were going. Okay, so what's the most underrated song?
It's underrated song or underrated artist? Yeah.
Whichever.
Ooh, that is tough.
I know.
An underrated song.
This is a hard-hitting show.
It is. We ask the tough questions, Brian.
To Love Somebody by the Bee Gees. And by Michael Bolton, and who else?
I love that it was another Bee Gees.
I know. That's my next favorite one.
Do you like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band?
I love that. Is probably one of my top 10 albums of all time.
Okay, the Bee Gees one or the?
I like the Beatles one. The Bee Gees one is pretty.
It's kind of whimsical, and
I think that pretty much ruined. That's when they ruined their career. I think. I don't know. But, so the Foo Fighters are releasing a Bee Gees revisit album this summer. And they are going to be featuring the Bee Gees. And they're calling themselves the DGs for like Dave Grohl.
Wow.
Nice.
So if you can get me, and of course they're playing opening night at one of the new venues in Cincinnati in August. But the tickets are like $300 for general admission right now. So
yeah.
And I might have to find an alternate town to catch them.
So that's funny. I did know you were a Bee Gees fan. What do you think about the Barry Gibb talk show?
I love the Barry Gibb talk
He
show.
was my crush in high school.
Do you know what the Barry Gibb talk show is, Kellen?
No, I'm talking about Barry Gibb.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We're kind of talking about Jimmy Fallon, but okay.
Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake are beyond phenomenal.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. If you've not seen those, get those on YouTube and you'll love it.
On the Barry Gibb talk show.
Well, okay. So one more musical question. Overrated. Who's overrated? There you go. There you go.
Bruce is always on top of it.
Bruce is ready. So yeah, tell me about who's overrated. I had this conversation with our buddy Tim Lord, and I don't think he loved me as much after this conversation.
Oh man. You know, in my new loving spirit, it's hard to like get in the energy of somebody who I don't like. It would probably be somebody fairly new.
I would agree with that.
Probably those Jonas Brothers. I think they're overrated. I'm gonna go out.
That was a safe answer. Okay.
But
very safe answer.
You tell now. Who did you tell Tim was overrated?
You know, I'm afraid to say because I'm afraid I will offend our entire audience, and nobody will watch but my mom.
It's not Neil Diamond, is it?
It's not Neil Diamond.
Okay.
It's not Neil Diamond.
Barry Manilow.
Oh, I love me some Barry Manilow.
Okay.
Oh, I love
that.
Barry
Would have been
Manilow
a problem.
too.
No, I love me some Barry Manilow.
Yeah, I also have this like really odd vision of myself, but my dad was in the Vietnam War, and I feel like somebody died in the Vietnam War, and my dad caught his spirit, and that person was going to be a disco fan in the 70s, and so somebody who died in Vietnam, I've absorbed their spirit, and therefore I am a 70s disco. Yeah, that's crazy, but that's the truth. I've had this vision that
I have a disco mix I listen to about 4 or 5 times a week at work on Spotify. Absolutely,
you can't go wrong with it.
You cannot go wrong.
I mean, all dance music is based off of disco to a certain degree.
I like it.
Club music.
Like yeah, I like it. And my answer is I can't say it.
You're not going to tell us.
No, I won't tell you his name. I'll just say sometimes he's known as the Piano Man.
Oh my gosh, really?
Come on.
Well, I know why Tim.
Making people mad. Also, I don't like the Eagles. I know
why Tim. Because when we were in Kansas City, he did a karaoke to one of his songs.
He's wonderful. But I'm a Tim Lord fan.
Right.
Okay. I don't like Billy Joel so
much. I can't think of who I don't like because I probably only listen to who I like. That's the problem. With in a Spotify world, when do you ever listen to what you don't want to listen to?
Right. That's correct. That's correct.
So Eric has a question. Brian, what things did your industry do during COVID-19 that will be used now that were never thought of before?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Everybody says the virtual and the hybrid were something that developed out of the pandemic. That stuff's been around. It's just been underutilized. What we're doing here, this technology has been around for 5-6 years. Some of it's been around for 10 years. And I think what it has done is it's just it forced people to use something they weren't comfortable using, and it provided competence in this digital world. Like to think that us three are having a show together. That's what's changed, is that people can create their own content at a very high level. And, we have the ability to reach the world very easily.
He said we were high content or high level.
Yeah, you are. I mean, we're having a good time. We got a good people. And, we're talking about things to help
and to me, this is just like if you guys were sitting around my kitchen table with me. I mean, it really is. I feel the same.
But 20 years ago, this would have taken $1 million worth of equipment to do.
Yeah.
And, we're talking a couple $1,000s worth of material, and we're all sitting in our homes. And so, I think I think what's changed is it's allowed people to become stars of their own shows, to be stars of their own world, to provide content and share their light with the world, and democratize messaging. So that now, I guess if one surprise is that you could actually make money not traveling in the event industry, that we actually found ways from our office to earn our keep. I would have, if anybody told me that for a year we would not travel, when I often, we had 100 employees and 50 of them might have been on the road at any given moment, to say that all of our employees would be sitting in our building to make money. I would have never thought that was ever possible. And it's actually a viable product. There's a lot of, when we book some of these virtual events now, we're like, oh, that's good. That's good business. I don't have to travel. I can sit in my office and do it. When we're finished, I go home to my own home instead of sleeping in some random hotel. So,
and it slashes your overhead. I mean, slashes it.
Yeah. It has cut out a big part of some of our product that we used to offer too. I have a lot of equipment on the shelf, but it is getting very bit. The good news is, our question is, how are we going to serve the need now, which is a nice change of pace for those who have not been working for the past. Well, we're already at like 56 some minutes.
I know, and
ladies.
we have
you guys are going to have to probably cut me off, because we would go for a month if we could.
We have a question. Oh, nice segue into our question. Thanks, Bam. Bam is moisturizing, and we know what he uses. He uses Harry's products. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wait, Bruce has our thing. He has our thing.
Oh yeah. Wait.
Okay, Bruce, we're ready.
Big question. This is Linda. Okay, so
hi, Sassy.
Hi. It's my baby, Sophia. Okay, Bam. Let's talk moisturizer.
That's not Bam. That's Brian.
Did I say Bam?
You did, but that's okay.
I'm so sorry. I know what Bam uses. I'm so sorry.
Do you like that little segue that Bruce made?
Yeah. I mean, what is Bruce doing this, or is this automatic? How's this going?
I know, it's so
Bruce makes it
seamless.
just seem automatic. Yeah.
Bruce is back doing wizardry in the background.
We know you moisturize because you look about 25.
Yep.
I only use one moisturizing product. It's a Crew product, and it's for men who are light on hair on the top. And I think it has a little bit of sunblock in it to protect these, this beautiful head up here. So it's Crew shampoo, conditioner, moisturizer, all in one. And that's it. That's all I moisturize right there.
You should join our messy bun contest.
I know. And then otherwise, Lever 2000.
I'm sorry.
Did you freeze?
Well, all right.
Did you freeze?
Lever 2000.
I froze, I know.
Okay. Did you hear the Lever 2000 or 3000?
I don't know what it 2000, I think it is. All of our 2000 body parts.
Lever 2000.
Oh,
okay. Do you ever use any
Do I ever use any what, Kellen? Did you hear that?
Any let's think. Let's pretend let's figure out the word together.
I actually cannot stand lotion, by the way. It drives me batty. So
is your skin naturally like soft? It's not all scaly.
I think it's probably relatively healthy, but if you didn't hear, Michelle, I cannot stand lotion. My hands feel a little greasy. I want to go wash my hands, get that stuff off with soap.
I thought this is a gift, and I love it.
Use hand cream, because hand cream is different than lotion. You should put hand cream on your hands, not lotion.
All right.
Lotion
So
and put it on the back of your hand and go like this. And then that's what I'm addicted to hand cream. You know,
God,
I ordered it through Jamie Green, that beauty counter stuff, and I love it. Love it. So thank you, Jamie.
I hope she's still here.
I don't know if she's or not.
Well, I'm gonna have to give that a try. I can eat wings because I don't like to get my hands there. I eat wings like this, and just barely touch it. And so I don't like anything on my hands. That's probably my one ism.
Most Marines are that way, I think.
Yeah, I like to be clean. So
yeah. Me too. Yeah, I don't even eat wings or ribs because they're more trouble than they're worth. But I don't know.
Yeah, Eric says I look lost. I always look lost. That's part of my deal.
Yeah, well, where'd you go, Eric? What was more important than this?
Yeah, come on.
Right?
Well, so Brian, is there anything that you would like to leave us with?
I think we've covered it pretty much, but
what about what's next? What about, are you going to start speaking?
Yeah, so I'm working on, I probably have 72 speeches written right now, and I just have to pick one of them. So I always have ideas. So if anybody wants to jump in, I'm going to charge $100 for my first 5 speeches that I do, and they would be virtually. So if you want to hire me, first 5 are $100 each.
Well, I'm going to have you speak at my Christmas party.
Okay.
Well, it's just me, but
that's fine. I'm in.
$100.
That's the next 500 or 5 speeches will be 500 each.
I like that.
So if you want to get a good deal, you got to sign up. First 10 people get a really good deal, and then
do you think you can motivate my Slacker sales staff?
Sure. Yeah. And then we're going to go $10,000 at speech 11.
Okay.
All right.
So jump on it, people.
I'm just putting that out there. So send me a note if you're looking for how to show up authentically, how to be a badass, how not to be afraid to make your life real. If you whatever those talks.
What do we need to do to get your email, your unpacking
email?
Oh, that's good. Sign up for that. Get that.
Just send a note to brianmonahan.me@gmail.com or catch up with Kellen or Michelle. Send me a note. If you can put it in the comments right here, Brian, I'm interested in your your unpacking newsletter, and I'll catch up with you.
Okay, Eric says knock knock. So are we supposed to say who's there?
Who's there, Eric? It's going to take 15 seconds for him to hear that. Yeah. That's a great joke, Eric.
That's awesome, Eric.
Oh, he wants to join the conversation, I think.
He's just
he's
a goof.
You're not
I am so glad that you were with us tonight, and
Me too.
that you gave us some of your time, and we appreciate it because you are awesome to me.
Are you giving me the wrap up cue right now?
Yeah.
Kellen? Are you wrapping this up?
Well, are you done?
The music is yeah.
I'm not good at wrapping up. I'll keep talking all night. So
okay, well I'll see you guys later.
Just have Bruce turn my audio.
No.
Well, we do appreciate, and guys, really sign up for that email.
Yes.
Brian has got lots to say, and it's interesting, and I love that you are inviting us along on your journey.
Yes.
So I know I feel privileged to be there with you on that. So.
Well, thank you for having me on here. Always a pleasure to hang out with both of you and your delightful guests out in Facebook world.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do have a fun crew, don't we?
Mm-hmm. We do. We've got a great audience.
#Megamind.
That's right.
Hashtag.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much. And everybody, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
If you like what you heard, be sure to share it.
Brian's got a great message, and all of your friends need to hear it. So.
Yes. And if you like what you saw today, please be sure to share it, like it, and subscribe so you don't miss. Next week, we have the amazing Don Mann, who is on SEAL Team 6. Another badass guy.
Yeah.
It's like badass month.
Mm.
Brian, we got Don, and then we got Tucker Hamilton, who is an F-35 fighter jet fighter.
Wow. Military month.
I think it's military month. So, but thanks everybody. Have a great evening.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.